So when did you join Threado?
It was July last year. It's been like a year. Uh, I joined Threado. It's more than a little bit
And
of a year.
was there community activities happening before you joined, or after you joined you started?
There were few, not
Mm,
very intense. When I joined, that was one of the things, Pramod
mm,
brought me in. It's to basically intensify,
mm,
whether it can be events or initiatives or building the
mm,
Slack community itself,
mm,
inviting like prolific people, leaders
mm,
of the space,
mm,
thought leaders, if you want to call it,
mm,
and basically do everything on a 5x 10x level.
mm,
There were some at the beginning, but when I
mm,
joined, we did like so many events. We used to do one event per week. Like
mm,
it used to be so much that we made a lot
mm,
of noise.
mm,
uh, we went to these conferences called CMX, and like we met people, we onboarded them personally
mm,
into the community. We structured our own onboarding flow using our own tool, Threado.
mm,
Uh, and yeah, we eat our own dog food and kind of like, live what we say. It's like
mm,
you have to walk what you talk, right? So
mm.
we've been doing that since July.
Great, great. And how has the community grown so far?
So when I joined, it was, I think, a shy of 50 to 70 people, if I'm not wrong.
Mm,
Uh, Today we are 400 plus.
mm,
And it's an invite only. It's not like an open
mm,
community. So one of the intentions I have is I don't really care about the quantity,
mm.
as long as we have high quality folks involved. So
Exactly.
that's the whole goal of this community. There are like
Mm,
different ways to build community, right? For us, it's
mm,
we thought like we should maintain the high bar. But yeah,
mm,
we have people who work at Salesforce, uh,
mm,
Slack,
mm,
Notion, uh, what else, like, Triple Whale. Like there are like big brands, Mixpanel,
mm,
so on and so forth. Like there are like community builders all across the world,
mm,
and community leaders
mm,
join as well.
mm,
Rosie Sherry type of people are like,
mm.
kind of active. And you're one of the champions, I would call, part of the community.
No, really, it's been a pleasure when I got the similar insights of what you are having and what others are also doing. Because community building is a space I have seen that all community builders share the same vision, share the same
Hmm.
passion, and share a collaborative approach,
Hmm.
which is like
Absolutely.
taking the entire industry. Everyone is working to take the industry to a different level,
Yeah,
bringing the
that's the
human,
thing.
bringing the human back into the business.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. And what are you trying to solve with Threado? Just want to understand a bit about Threado and what are you solving with it?
Sure. So we have been building a community management tool so far. What I mean by that is, so basically we want to empower community builders to really focus on, like you said, building human connection and not worry about certain logistics, like, hey, some new person joined, I
Mm,
have to log in and like welcome him or her personally,
mm,
or I have to keep in touch with everybody who made their posts, for example, on Slack, just for this
mm,
example, get back to them on point, on time.
mm,
There were a lot of logistical issues that involve when you build a community. It's
mm,
not uh, a hidden thing. It's a fact. We wanted to like take over that so that
mm,
you, as a community builder, focus
mm,
on building human connections, getting one-on-one
mm,
calls, getting to
mm,
know people more, and doing things
mm,
that people want, etc.,
mm,
etc. So that's been so far, like, the motto of Threado. And we recently discovered that there is a big gap in uh, delivering great customer support, community support, you
mm,
want to call it.
mm. Yes.
So we recently launched a new product called Threado AI.
Mm, mm,
What it does is basically, if you have like help docs, if you have PDFs, if you have any URLs that that is wealth of information, what you can do is you can train that on Threado AI, and Threado AI delivers you a chatbot experience where your users and your community can get answers instantly without your involvement,
Mm,
so that you again can focus on doing
mm,
the right things, like building a product, whether you are a founder, building a
mm,
community if you're a community builder, if you're a support leader, you can, like, close as many support issues as you can, and, like, move on to the next
mm,
big thing. So we are in that, we're building that for support leaders, people who are very keen into, like, support, whether,
mm,
like I said, it can be product, it can be community, or it can be like
mm,
anybody, right? So
mm,
the Threado AI, what it does is it does give you a bot where you can
mm,
actually embed on your website,
mm,
if you want, or if you're on a community on Slack, and you can
mm,
embed, you can integrate the bot into Slack.
mm,
So what it does is it will train all the community conversations that happened over time. There will be a lot of questions. Hey, if you're building a product and you're inviting a product centric community, product users, for example, there will be a lot of questions. Hey, my login is not working, what should I do? Or this thing
mm,
is broken, what should I do? Or I
mm,
need a request, there is a request for feature, I need this new feature, whatnot. And if you train that, and these are the things that we observed, which is, even though you answered those questions once, you basically have to answer again if someone asks the
mm,
same question. So why not actually turn that to AI, so that AI can
mm,
actually deliver answers to you, right?
mm,
So that's where we are in right now, and we are actually expanding our community to support leaders as well, alongside with community builders. So there
mm,
is a mix of, there'll be like a new announcement that's coming soon, where we want
mm,
to rebrand our community. It's community champs right now, very focused on
mm,
community builders.
mm.
We are moving, we're expanding it to support leaders. So wait for the announcement, it's coming soon. But yeah, that's
Great,
where we are up to in terms of Threado.
great. So when you are building this AI chatbot, definitely for the community, so you must had, I think, thought of that how much time it can save for me and my team. So
Exactly. Yeah, we
typically,
use the same thing. If you go
mm,
to right now, there is a support channel for us in Slack.
mm,
And if you ask any question about Threado, just
mm,
community management tool, or the initiatives we did, or anything that you want to find out,
mm,
we personally are not answering those questions, because we are
mm,
using our own bot. And the bot
mm,
answers, it goes, we've trained that on our help docs, the
mm,
documentation we've created over time, and it really, like, went through all that, and it provides you source links as well, where the
mm,
answer came from. So
mm,
you can really, like, again, like I said, what one thing we really are proud of at Threado is we eat our own dog food, meaning we
mm,
use our own tools, because we are building it for ourselves.
mm. So out of the context question, if I'm just asking that, normally Threado is for Slack, right? So there are a lot of communities which even companies are hosting on a whitelisted domains, right?
Mhm.
Which definitely are integrated through some other platforms who are providing whitelisted community solutions. Is there any plugin for that also that you are building?
So we are right now, we support Discord, Slack, Discourse.
Hmm.
Those are the platforms we support. Uh,
Hmm.
but the bot works everywhere. There is no
Hmm.
limit.
Hmm.
So it depends on entirely you. Whatever you want to
Hmm.
train on it, it'll get trained.
Okay, so irrespective of the platform, I can basically plug and play the bot, right?
Yeah, you can plug and play. You can embed on the website, and
Hmm.
people can interact with it instantly.
Hmm. Okay, nice. And any benchmarks that you would like to share with us about from your experience in community building, that this is how a community should grow when it's highly engaging community. This is how the engagement levels should be in between this range. This is how the advocacy needs to be there. Any benchmarks that you have?
We actually, as a matter of fact, we did a benchmark reporting on community building.
Hmm.
It actually blown my own mind, because
Hmm.
some of the facts I don't even know. For example, one of the
Hmm.
fact that I'm very, very kind of, like, shooked about is that we got to know that the perfect way to interact to anybody
mm,
on any community is in the morning and in the afternoon. Like there is a specific time that if you
mm,
post something, that there is a higher chance that you'll get more replies back, and meaning you get more engagement. So
mm,
yeah, happy to use that as a benchmark,
mm,
like metric, for example.
mm,
And there are like so many things. And the other thing is, it depends on where
mm,
you are. If you're early
mm,
stage, my suggestion, I wouldn't, in my way of community building is not going or chasing goals or numbers.
mm,
It's about like doing things intentionally, and
mm,
when you do things intentionally, it will happen. Like you will make progress, so you have to believe in that. And say for example, the way I would suggest for early communities that are just getting started is to focus on really knowing people who you are inviting. That's it.
mm,
That's the biggest goal or the KPI you should chase.
mm,
Like,
mm,
how many one-on-ones are you having on a
mm,
consistent basis? Like if
mm,
you're inviting 10 people and 10 people
mm,
join,
mm,
that's the best thing you should do. Like 10
mm,
one-on-ones should happen in the next 1 week, and
mm,
they should come back and do recurring one-on-ones with themselves. So
mm,
those are certain metrics I would kind of chase.
mm,
But eventually, I think if you're building a community and you are like kind of there but not there, I
mm,
would really focus on doing events, like
mm,
uh, high value events where you basically involve everybody, like
mm,
all the community folks, even either can be active or passive. That's And when you are at at a pace where you want to scale, like you're
mm,
scaling, accelerating, people already know who you are,
mm,
the community you're building. At that point, you basically have to do not just events, but
mm,
bring people who are there, in a way. So like, for
mm,
example, in our case, we brought like Rosie Sherry type of people when we did events,
mm,
right? You basically have to collaborate with big names at
mm,
that point. A number two, you either host like a conference or something that's on a mega scale. Number three, you host like either like some sort of awards where you are like, okay, we
mm,
are the benchmark for it, for that particular
mm,
industry and whatnot. So there are like more ways to grow
mm,
and scale, but it
mm,
all depends, like the team you have, uh, how much of intention you carry, as well as a lot many founders, they don't have community as a top priority.
mm,
So if it is not all of the things I said, they're just like they just go through over you don't even feel it. So it's all it all depends. But I think the benchmark reporting we did is a fabulous
mm,
one.
mm.
Everybody should check it out. It really, opens up a
No,
lot
I'll
of
check it out and post